rise. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Teen Court for Robeson County District 16 is now staying for dispatch of its business. The Honorable Judge Ken Lampkin now presiding. God save the state and this honorable court. Please be seated.
All right, welcome to Teen Court, ladies and gentlemen. Let's disperse this business. First, let's go through our oath of confidentiality. Everybody's familiar with the rules of the court, so I won't go through that in much detail. So we're all adults in here, so let's get forward. The oath of confidentiality, people. I need everybody to stand and raise their right hands. All right, repeat after me. I solemnly swear and avow.
I solemnly swear and avow
that I will not divulge.
That I will not divulge.
Either by words or signs.
Either by words or signs.
Any information or names.
Any information or names.
Revealed to me in the course of a teen court case hearing.
Revealed to me in the course of a teen court case hearing.
And that I will keep secret all said proceedings.
And that I will keep secret all said proceedings.
Which may be held in my presence.
Which may be held in my presence.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Consider yourselves sworn in there. All right. Now let's have our jury oath. All right, you guys may be seated.
Jury, if you could please stand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to listen carefully to all the evidence and arguments which are presented in these cases and to fulfill your duty to determine a sentence which is appropriate and fair to the defendant, the victim, and the community? If so, say, I do.
I do.
You may be seated.
Madam Clerk, can you call the first case?
Judge, the first case for today is State v. Casey Barnes, case number 010-TC123.
Thank you very much. The parents and guardian parents of the defense is here? Yes, they are. Great, thanks. Our defendant is here. Defendant. All right. Will the defense and prosecuting attorneys please introduce themselves?
Defense Attorney Natalie Singletary representing Casey Barnes.
Will the state please introduce themselves?
Sean Barefoot representing the state.
All right, Mr. Casey Barnes, please stand, sir. Do you understand why you're here at Teen Court today?
Yes, sir.
Do you admit to your guilt?
I do.
Let's start by having our opening statements. Let's have the prosecution do theirs first.
May I approach?
Yes, you may.
Good afternoon. I'll present the facts of the case to show you that while Mr. Casey Barnes over here might have been taunted, there is no excuse for his actions that he gave against Mr. Alex. I just want you to remember that when you hear the facts of the case from the defense and make a fair and sound decision. Thank you.
All right. Defense.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Chairman of the jury, I'm here today to present the case of Casey Barnes. I will prove to you that he is a fine student and a good kid. He was simply verbally abused and he stood up for himself. I hope that you listen to the facts of this case and keep a clear and fair judgment.
All right. We are ready to begin. Defense, you may call your first witness.
I call Casey Barnes.
Mr. Barnes.
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated.
Can you tell us your name?
Casey Barnes,
How old are you?
17 years old.
What are your plans after graduation?
I plan to join the Navy.
Can you tell us what happened with Alex on November 19th?
Alex was on the school bus with me and began verbally abusing me by telling me that I was a loser and a reject because I didn't make the varsity basketball squad. And I heard from my friends the next day that he was talking about me in a very similar manner at school, in the cafeteria. He said that I didn't ever have a chance of being a basketball player, making it as a basketball player. After school, I approached Alex in the locker room to ask him if he would stop, or to tell him that I wanted him to stop. At that time, he made a gesture to me that indicated that he was not going to stop, wasn't planning to. So then I shoved him.
Would you say that not making the team was devastating to you?
Yes.
Do you think Alex taunted you?
Yes.
Why did you confront him in front of the locker?
I wanted him to stop talking about me that day.
So did you mean to hurt him?
No.
Did you feel provoked?
Yes.
Are you sorry for what you did?
I'm sorry he got hurt. Yes.
Were you punished?
I was grounded for 2 months, suspended from school for 2 weeks, and off the basketball team.
Did you learn anything from this experience?
Yes.
What's that?
That I should have taken my issue to an older group of people, and that violence is not the answer.
Do you think Alex verbally bullied you?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution Cross.
How would you describe your relationship with Mr. Alex Jordan?
He was a teammate, but we had a rivalry. We usually kept our respectful distance with one another. I wouldn't say we were friends.
Did you hate him?
No,
Were you jealous of his talents because he made the varsity team and you did?
not really.
The day of the incident, would you describe your behavior towards Mr. Alex as violent?
In one instance,
So you would describe it as violent.
Objection, Your Honor. Leading question.
Sustained.
Are you aware of the injuries that you caused Alex Jordan?
yes.
Do you feel sorry for what you did to Mr. Alex?
Yes.
Why haven't you apologized to him yet? It's been almost a month since the incident, and you haven't reached out to him at all.
It seemed like talking to him didn't work the first time, and talking to him again might inflame the problem.
Would you describe yourself as an honorable person?
Yes.
Don't you feel like it's honorable to reach out to him since you caused his injury?
I don't know how he would take it.
You said you felt verbally bullied. Do you think verbal abuse is an excuse for your actions on that day?
No, not in itself.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about that?
Well, Alex's words were accompanied by a gesture. It was inappropriate and very strongly suggested that he planned to keep verbally abusing me.
Do you feel the gesture justified your violent behavior?
No.
Are you aware of the outstanding medical bills that are due from your injuries to Mr. Alex Jordan?
I think it's $200.
Do you feel like you should pay that to his family?
Yes.
Is this the first time you've ever been taunted?
Yes.
So this is how, one would assume this is how you react to being taunting and violent behavior.
Not really.
Don't you think it's an indicator of future behavior?
Not in particular.
You said you were punished, suspended from school, grounded. You think that's sufficient punishment for your actions against Alex?
I don't know. I'm only 17.
Are you aware of what a shoulder injury can do to a basketball player?
Not really.
Would you be able to play basketball without your shoulder?
If I had to,
Don't you think that this hurts Alex's future as a basketball player?
it's possible.
So it's possible you took his dream away from him.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions, John.
All right, be ready.
Yes, Your Honor. May I approach?
Yes, you may.
Casey, now that you are fully aware of Alex's injuries, how does that make you feel?
Kind of bad. Very sorry, though.
No more further questions, Your Honor.
Recross.
Does your newfound remorse for Alex Jordan change anything that happened?
No.
Thank you. No further questions, John.
All right, any more witnesses to be heard?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Well, let's hear closing arguments. Let's start with defense.
May I approach the jury?
Yes, you may.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, now that you have all heard the facts of this case, I hope that you keep in mind that Casey is a good kid who simply made an irresponsible decision, as many teenagers do. I ask that you keep in mind that he has already been punished. He was grounded for 2 months, suspended from school for 2 weeks, and kicked off the basketball team. And I hope that you keep this in mind when you make a fair judgment. Thank you.
Prosecution, let's hear your closing argument.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Good afternoon. You've heard the facts of the case, and the defense would like you to believe that Mr. Casey Barnes is a good kid, and this is an isolated incident that will never happen again. And that very well may be, but that doesn't matter in this case right now. Mr. Jordan was the victim in this case. He got injured from the actions of Casey Barnes, and we're here to decide judgment on that. We're not here to decide judgment on whether he was punished enough or not. We're here to get him help for what he needs, and I think we should do that tonight. I think you guys should make a fair and just decision, and include in that decision the $200 of restitution that needs to be paid to Mr. Alex Jordan's family. Thank you, and have a nice day.
You may return to your seat. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard the evidence and the arguments in the counsel and his teen court versus Mr. Casey Barnes. It's now your duty to retire and deliberate and decide on the appropriate constructive sentence for Mr. Barnes. Do not discuss this case with anyone, with just your fellow jury members. Your first order of business is to elect a foreperson. That will be your representative in all your deliberations and to complete the verdict forms. You, the jury, the sole judge of the true facts of this case and that its appropriate constructive sentence. Do not allow prejudice for or against the defendant or prosecution to play any part in determining your sentence. I instruct you the purpose of the constructive sentence is to allow the defendant to take responsibilities for his actions. It should be fair to the defendant and the community, fair to the defendant by taking into account the factors favorable for the defendant, and fair to the community by imposing adequate consequences upon the defendant, considering the seriousness of the offense and how the defendant's actions affected this community. I'm also asking you to think outside the box with your sentence. Some of the sentencing guidelines are as follows. Since this is a level 2, it's 7 to 15 hours of community service, 1 to 3 jury sessions. But we're going to get creative here. If you want to add some things such as creative writing, a letter of apology to the victim, written essays, tutoring, conflict resolution, or even a suggestion for a referral for therapy, please add that to your deliberations. Right now, I would like you to retire to the deliberation chambers and come back with a fair and just verdict. Would you now escort the jury for deliberation?